Welcome to the most boring channel on YouTube. I'm having kind of mixed feelings about making the most boring channel on YouTube, but so should you two also have, since you're actually watching this. This is my first video, and as you probably can see, it's not the best gear I'm using. I'm using my good old laptop, and I'm not really sure how often I'm going to continue making these videos. But the reason why I'm making this video is because tomorrow I'm going to North Korea on a week-long holiday. And I guess that raises two questions. Why? And the second is, why now? Well, the reason why is, it's a long story. But my family comes from a small island in northwestern Norway called Gossen. And during the Second World War, there were a lot of prison camps installed on the island. And there were sort of Yugoslav and Soviet prisoners of wars, and there was a lot of friendship bound between the people that was living there, the civilians, and the prisoners. And those friendships, they lasted for a long time after the war as well. And it was a reasonably common place to go on holidays, especially to Yugoslavia after the war. And all my grandparents have been there, and actually my grandmother is still traveling there approximately once a year due to her rheumatism. It's a rheumatism farm in rheumatism center in Karnagora that she still travels to. And well, when I was about 13 or 14, I was invited to spend 1 month at this rheumatism farm with those old people. And as a 13, 14-year-old, I had the most natural reaction to, hey, you want to go to East Bloc country for a month together with a lot of senior citizens? I said, no, thank you. After all, Yugoslavia, it was a land-bound country. It was a land-based country, and it was not going to sink in the ocean right away or disappear whatsoever. And I was a bit wrong about that. So after then, I've been very interested in following countries over several years to see how they evolve. And I had a great opportunity to follow Algeria during the beginning of the last decade, because I was in Algeria in 2001, 2003, and 2005, and could follow how the country was evolving after the civil war they had there. And that kind of leads me to question number two. Why now to North Korea? Well, North and South Korea is still kind of stuck in the Cold War mentality. And things have to change there, both in North and South, within a reasonably short time, I guess. And as you probably know about North Korea, it's Kim Jong-un has just recently taken over the family business. He's the third generation in his family that is the head of state in North Korea. But in South Korea, it's Park Geun-hye, which has taken over the president in South Korea just recently. She's a daughter of the former South Korean dictator Park Geun-hye. The reason why I call him a dictator is because he actually was a dictator, because South Korea didn't become evolving to a democracy until the late 80s and early 90s. And Park Geun-hye, he was one of the most ruthless dictators in South from 1963 to 79. He took the power as a military coup and stayed in power until he was murdered. He had a history as an officer in the Japanese occupation army, and as you who know a little bit about Korean history, the Japanese occupation army was pretty nasty against the Koreans. So the situation in Korea right now is that things are kind of personal between the North and the South. But I also heard news that the rhetoric of war between North and South is both the rhetoric and that the situation both in Seoul and in Pyongyang is stable and relatively normal. So you're kind of wondering right now, how can I get there to North Korea and spend time there as a tourist before things start to happen? Well, the obvious answer to that is by airplane via China. And there are several travel agencies that can get you there, but you have to apply for a visa at least 1 month in advance, both to North Korea and to China, to get there. Normally, the travel agency that you're using can take care of that. You're kind of wondering how hard is it to get there? Well, it's pretty easy to get a visa to China. It's a little bit more tricky to get a visa to North Korea. They're a little bit more picky about who they invite in. But they have a lot of friendship associations all over the world that can make the transition a bit more easy. But there are two types of friendship association. It's the northern ones and the southern ones. If you contact a South Korean friendship association and tell them that you're planning to go to North Korea on holiday, one out of two things may happen. They will just ignore you until you go away, or they will tell you to just fuck off. So it's important that you're contacting a North Korean Friendship Association if you're going to travel to Pyongyang or somewhere else in the north. And you just contact them and be nice with them, and they will be nice back. They will ask you a few questions about who you are, and if you're planning to make something awkward or being extremely negative. Just travel there with an open mind, and we'll see what happens. This is going to be my first trip there, and I'm really, really excited about it. Yeah, I'm traveling tomorrow morning, so good luck to you listeners and or watchers or whatever. Yeah, have a nice time.